all-in-one platform for virtual collaboration and communication. My name is Zohaib, and I'm the marketing manager at OneScreen. I welcome you all to yet another episode of our live webinar series of TL7, hosted by OneScreen Middle East and Africa in collaboration with DVCOM team. Thank you for joining us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, OneScreen Solutions is at the forefront of transforming how teams collaborate and communicate in the virtual world. With our innovative platform, we provide a seamless and intuitive experience for video conferencing, screen sharing, whiteboarding, and much more that you are going to discover today in today's webinar. OneScreen Solutions is designed to enhance your team's collaboration and productivity, no matter where you are in the world. We're excited to showcase the features and benefits of our flagship product, OneScreen TL7. Today, we are delighted to have Usman Qayyum, a key member of OneScreen Guru team, as our esteemed speaker and product specialist. With his deep understanding of how OneScreen is transforming teamwork and learning by breaking down barriers. Usman will share insights and strategies that will empower you to unleash your full potential. With his grasp on OneScreen TL7, Usman is uniquely qualified to guide you through the features and benefits of revolutionary platform. Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the webinar, we encourage you to actively participate by submitting your questions in the question and answer box. We'll do our best to address as many of your inquiries as possible during the dedicated question and answer session. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a virtual welcome to the DVCOM representative, Mr. Brian Thomas. Over to you, Brian.
Thanks, Zoe. Hope everyone is well. DVCOM, we are the master distributor for OneScreen in the MENA region. So we are a specialist value-added distributor that represents some of the most dynamic ICT vendors in the field of AV, EOV, security, both physical and IT, cloud, unified communications, and so on. So we are thrilled to have OneScreen as our vendor, and it is one of the most popular vendor that we bundle our other solutions with. And we already made a good impact in this region with numerous use cases in the education sector, the private sector, and so on and so forth. I will have Usman join us, and he will take us through who OneScreen is, what is OneScreen capable of, and how it can match your customers' requirements. Over to you, Usman.
Thank you so much, Brian, and thanks a lot, everyone, for joining us in today's webinar. This is Usman from the OneScreen Guru team, and I welcome everyone who has taken their time to be a part of this demo session. So if we talk about the modern systems and technologies, users are now more dependent on the visual aids to understand key points easily. So being a presenter, I need something to be presented to my participants so that I can make sure that they remain involved and engaged throughout the process. We have seen, a new era of, traditional projectors, and they somehow resolve the problems of all the presenters, trainers, teachers, and other professionals, but they were by no means intuitive and has some limitations. And to cater all those problems, OneScreen is here to offer you with our smart solution to cater all your problems that will truly enhance your productivity and collaboration experience. We are a US brand having a global presence in more than 60 plus countries, and we've been working on this technology for more, for a lot of decades to make sure that we ensure that users get what they need to run their meetings smoothly and enhance their overall collaboration experience. So this is a TL7 75 inches, a versatile digital and powerful display that is going to transform how you work, learn, and communicate. It's an all-in-one collaboration solution, which has a lot of tools and applications comes built in with the screen, which will make sure that out of the box, users are getting each and everything they need to make sure their processes, their remote meetings, their classrooms, and even for the the technical people, they're getting everything out of the box. And once we, run through the applications and software, you'll get to see at the end of this webinar session that how this product can fit in your setting. Okay, so I'll start off with a basic introduction about the screen, in which I'll be telling about the hardware and the specifications of TL7. So this is 75 inches sizes, and you have a series of different sizes. It starts from 55, 65, 75, 86, and then 98 inches. So you can actually choose any size of your choice that can best fit in your meeting setting or classroom settings. If you talk about the resolution, so with its 4K resolution, And anti-glare glass technology eliminates all the reflections. So regardless of whatever lighting condition you place the OneScreen TL7 in, you will get crispy visuals and an amazing viewing experience. Even when you have external light sources, the visuals of the panel are not going to be compromised. Talking about the connectivity options, so we have a wide range of connectivity options, be it wired projection or wireless projection. For instance, if I have to explain the front ports, we have Type-C ports, HDMI ports, USB ports on the front side of the panel, and then we have a bundle of ports on the back side as well. Now, the primary use of these ports are that users can connect their external devices, such as their laptops, monitors, smartphones, tablets, MacBooks, whatever platform they are using, whatever device they are using, and no matter whichever operating system they are working on, they can easily connect their external devices with the TL7 just by connecting a single cable. So for HDMI, once you have connected your external device, for example, a laptop, you can now get complete control of your laptop screen directly from the TL7. So you don't have to, work on two screens at the same time to, get a good experience. Once you have connected an HDMI cable with your laptop, you'll get complete control of your laptop screen directly from the TL7. Then we have a C-type port. And for this particular port, I'm going to talk about a range of benefits because this is currently widely adaptable connectivity option, because it allows users to share their external device display, audio, touch, and local network sharing as well. Plus, if you have smartphones, tablets, or MacBooks, you can also use this port to charge up your devices. So just by connecting a single cable, you'll be getting a lot of features in case of C-type port. Then we have two built-in speakers on the front side. These are, having a total output of 32 watts. And these are loud enough to provide crystal clear, audio experience, regardless of what size of, meeting room you have, or the classroom. They can, pretty much fit in any big hall room or meeting room. So who can use the product? It can be for trainers, presenters, teachers, business professionals, and for the tech people as well. If you are looking for enhancing your presentation experience, you can definitely go for this product. Okay, now I'll move towards something that truly differentiates OneScreen from anyone else in the market, and that is OneScreen Guru. This is our 24/5 unparalleled and free support for all the users who are using OneScreen products. And for the lifetime, they are going to get free and technical support. Now, we have seen the traditional methods to get support whenever we face technical difficulties or any problem with the product, but that takes a lot of time. In this case, the users are only one touch away. They just have to tap on the Guru button to get access to the real human experts who are working 24 hours for you to resolve your problem right away. In addition to that, not only the support, we think we have to empower our users to the knowledge as well. So you can actually schedule unlimited and free training session for the lifetime. So once you have the product, no matter how many sessions you need, you are hiring new staff, you have new staff. Now the responsibility of Guru is to train them on the product so that they can get maximum benefit out of the product. And there are tons of ways to connect. No waiting time, no interaction with the chatbots. The real human experts are waiting for you. You just have to choose the any of these ways. You can have an instant chat session, an audio call, or a video call with OneScreen technical support team, and they'll be more than happy to assist you, and will make sure that your problem is resolved within the same call. Okay, now I'll just dive into the features, and the first thing I'll talk about is the integration of your cloud storage platform with TL7. Of course, if I have to start everything from the scratch, I think that nothing can be worse than this. So there should be something through which I can get access to all the data which is saved on my cloud storage. And the most common cloud storage platforms, we save our data in the Google Drive and OneDrive. So I'll demonstrate you how quickly you can integrate your drive storage with the screen just by scanning a QR code. So using this magical button on the top, the sign in button, it will show you a QR code, and from my mobile phone, I'll just have to scan this QR code, which will redirect me to my account. And from my mobile phone or the tablet, I just have to authorize my login. And once I tap login, you will notice that the interface on the TL7, like the whole wallpaper, widgets, and the favorite applications are going to be changed. And this is the power of Android 11 operating system, because it allows each user to customize and personalize the screen as they want. So for example, for instance, if I'm not using this widget, or these are not the applications I'm working on frequently, so I can just tap on it and remove this widget from the screen. And the same process I can do for all the applications. So it gives users a complete access and control that how they want their screen to be look. And once they are leaving the meeting room, or once they are done with the presentation, they can just sign out of their account and the screen is going to be in its default condition. So now you have secure access to your data. You can work on anything, and without even saving your data manually on the drive, it is also automatically going to export all the data on your cloud storage platforms. Okay, so now that we have explored the sign-in options, we'll move towards the whiteboarding experience, and then we'll talk about the wireless presentations. So for the whiteboard, we have OneScreen Write. This is our digital whiteboard, which comes built in with the TL7 to enhance your presentation experience. And for the remote meetings, I would say the collaboration experience. You can use this for brainstorming sessions, for group sessions, and a lot of tools are available in the toolbar, which I'll be going through in a moment to further enhance your overall productivity. Okay, starting off, since I mentioned that I have integrated my cloud storage with the TL7, so I think I should show you that how I can import the data from my drive. So simply from the menu section, I'll go to my drive storage. So here it is. It's already integrated. I did not do anything manually. I just had to scan the QR code. And now I'll go into the folder where I might have saved some sort of presentation for you. This is going to take a few seconds to show my drive content. And here it is. So you can see that just by going to the menu section, it gave me access to all my drive storage. And then whatever I have prepared for my, my audience, my participants, I just uploaded it on the whiteboard, and now I can start working on it. First thing, it supports all the basic hand gestures. For example, if I want to have a focus on something, for example, this map, which is representing different regions, any company is currently working on. And then I will start using my different modes of writing. For example, for this particular section, I just want something to be highlighted, or I just want to annotate on top of this picture. So I can use a color of my own choice, and I can start highlighting just like this. For this particular section, since it's written in quite a good handwriting, so I want the text to be recognized properly in digital font, and I don't want my handwriting to be look like this. So this time I'm going to use the text recognition pen from the pen section. And what this will do, that whatever I write in my normal handwriting, the moment I stop, it will automatically convert your text into digital font. So when you are in a real presentation, if you do not want your the handwriting or the labeling or drawing or annotation to appear like this, you can definitely use the text recognition pen to enhance your writing experience, because it is going to convert whatsoever you're going to write in a digital font. Let's go to the other section. And to add one more point here, once I'm done with the presentation, I don't want these annotations to be saved on my document. So without selecting the eraser from the bottom toolbar, I can just use my palm to erase anything from the whiteboard. So you can see how quick it is. And I do not have to select anything from the bottom toolbar. It just detects when you are writing with the finger and when you are using your palm to erase your content. Furthermore, it detects the sides of pen from which you are writing. For example, a pen has basically two sides, the thick side and the thin side, and I can actually decide which color should I should be using for the thin side and the thick side, and the whiteboard is going to detect that automatically. And here's how I can do that. So this time for the thin side, I'm going to select the normal pen and red color. Similarly, for the next time I'll open this, and for the thick side, I will choose orange color. And you can notice that once I switch the sides of my pen, it has automatically detected. For the thin side, this was the color, and for the thick side, this was the color. So it automatically detects whichever color you have chosen from the pen tray, and then you can start working on it. Okay. We'll move towards the right side. Okay, just to add one more point here, that multiple pages can be added in the in the same document, right? And also it gives you an option to create unlimited space on the same page. So if I don't want to add a new page, I can just scroll up to create indefinite whiteboarding space for me. Okay, now this whole design was created using the tools that are available in the bottom toolbar. For example, if I have to explain this particular section, so this has been created by using the mind map feature. And just by clicking on this plus button, I can add as many branches as I want. And the purpose of having mind map in the bottom toolbar is to, so that users can actually share their thought process or their, plan for some specific projects in the form of a process flow or in the form of a mind map. And within these blocks, I can actually write, just like I mentioned earlier, either in a normal handwriting mode or in the text recognition. And the best part is that once you write something inside it, it will automatically give you some suggestions as well, so that you can actually choose the right option to be written inside the box and so on. Okay, now in the beginning of an introduction of OneScreen Write, I mentioned that it gives users a collaboration experience. So there must be a way where multiple people can write on the same page, or if they are, if they have joined us through a remote meeting, they can actually interact with the participants or interact with this whiteboard software. So for the participants who are physically available, they can use the multi-user option to divide the whiteboard space into 3 or up to 4 different sections. And you can notice the line is here to separate one section from the other. And this user who is writing in the first section won't be able to write in the second section even if he wants, because this has been dedicated to the second user. So multiple people, up to 4, can actually have a collaborative experience on the panel. And even for those who have joined us remotely, they can actually interact with the participants and share their thoughts throughout the meeting or any presentation session. So add a new page. Okay. In the beginning, I have uploaded this document from my drive because I've worked on it. I have saved it already on my drive. Now, a lot of times in our sessions or in our presentations, we need some resources to be picked up from the browser. So we have a built-in browser which will allow you to search for any information directly from the web without leaving the whiteboard space. And how we can do that, if I just tap on this browser option, it supports multitasking, and this versatility of TL7 makes it different from the traditional whiteboards. Now you can notice that on the first half, on this half, I have my browser, and on the other half, I have my whiteboard, so I can work on multiple applications simultaneously. So let's just search for anything from the browser. And it supports quick drag and drop feature, which will allow me to copy any text, any web link, or maybe a picture, which I can easily download and then just push it onto the whiteboard. For example, this is the chart I'm looking for. So I'll just tap on it. The picture has been downloaded, and then I can drag and drop onto the whiteboard. And later on, you can make some changes. For example, you can create multiple copies of it. You can crop the picture, some part of the picture if you want. So basic editing options are available for this particular picture as well. Same goes with the text. You can search for any text and copy it and have it pasted on the whiteboard. Okay. Next thing we have is some sort of shapes, because I'm basically explaining all those blocks that I have created on the design document. So using shapes, you can actually use these shapes in your flowcharts or the process flow. 2D shapes, 3D shapes, a lot of options are available here as well. And the best part is that even within this software, we have a built-in support feature, which again, is something that differentiates OneScreen. So built-in product, suppose right now I'm working on the whiteboard software. If I face any difficulty, some feature is not working or screen is getting stuck, whatsoever the technical problem, I can just tap on this button to get in touch with the OneScreen technical support team to share my query. and they'll get it resolved on the same call. They can actually take remote access to your screen to make sure that, because users are sometimes not familiar, like which settings they need to be changed. So they can actually take complete control of your screen with your permission to make sure that your problem is being resolved within the same call. Now, time to save the whiteboard notes or the meeting notes that we have just written on it. And for saving, again, we have multiple options. And the quickest way to share these notes with the participants who have joined us remotely is sharing via QR code. So this is a unique QR code that is going to be generated for this particular session on my whiteboard. And this can be scanned from anyone, from any part of the world. And people can actually scan this QR code and have access to all the whiteboard or the meeting notes that were discussed on OneScreen Right. So I'm going to enlarge it. And from my mobile phone, the best part is that in this case, it does not require you to be on the same network. So once I scan it, it will just give me a link on which I can tap. And it will redirect me to the, to a new link where I can actually see which meeting notes were discussed. Okay, so here I have it. You can see that all those meeting notes which were discussed during this session have been saved and opened on my mobile phone, and this is not on the same network. This can be done from any part of the world. So this QR code is open. If you guys would like to scan this QR code, go ahead, you can just scan it, and you'll get to see all the discussions, annotations, drawings, that were being done during the session. Okay, this is the first way to share your meeting notes with anyone, with the remote participants specifically. The other way to save it is that you can actually push this file to your drive storage, which you have already integrated. And in order to do that, I just have to export, which will give me multiple options. I may want this file in image format, PDF format, SVG, or in then interactive whiteboard format. So for this particular case, since I've been needing this file in the future to review or make some changes, so I'm going to go with interactive whiteboard file, export. And from here, I'll have to choose the destination folder. Okay, so webinar, and then okay. You can rename it, and there we go. Now, even if I don't have access to the screen, I can actually review this document from my laptop as well, because I have access to my email and drive storage from my mobile phone or any other device. So once you have pushed the content to your drive, you can get access to all your whiteboard material, even when you're not present in front of the screen. So we have seen the first way to share your meeting notes is the QR code, which works on cloud, and anyone can scan the QR code to actually see the meeting notes. And the second thing we have seen, the second mode of saving we have seen is to push the content to the drive. Third way of saving is to directly send an email to any participant, and they are going to receive in the form of a PDF file whatsoever was being discussed during the session. So give it a title. Could be a random title, and then the receiver email address needs to be written over here. And once you're done, hit the send button, and the meeting notes will be on their way. And the fourth option of saving is to save it for future, but within the internal storage of TL7, which is 64 gigabytes. And in order to do that, I'm just gonna select save as option, local files, and then I'm going to tap OK if I want to if I want to place this document outside any folder. Otherwise, I can just select any random folder. And here we go. So now in the future, I will be able to get access to this folder directly from the internal storage. Okay, so we have seen that how we can upload presentations and files from the File Explorer, how we can annotate on it. Now, if I want to leave the whiteboard screen, if I may want to write on this screen or any other browser screen, so I have the annotation feature in the bottom toolbar, which will actually create a transparent layer in front of the screen and will allow you to write on pretty much any screen that you're working on. So it could be document, video, whatsoever you're working on. And then later on, the saving modes are going to be same as discussed earlier. We'll go back and Yeah, so this is what a single whiteboard can do. Of course, we have discussed only, we have just touched the tip of the iceberg. It can be used for basic concepts, but you can actually use the same whiteboard and these same tools to get an advanced experience of whiteboarding as well. So wonderful tool for your presentation. And now we'll switch our focus towards the connectivity. And in the beginning, we have talked about the wired connectivity for which we have HDMI and C-type port. By this time, we'll talk about the wireless projection, which will allow users to connect their external devices like smartphones, tablets, laptops, MacBooks. All operating systems are compatible, and they can actually start projecting without any additional hardware connections or cables. They can start projecting wirelessly. So to demonstrate it, I'll be using my mobile phone. Just open the application. Now, the only thing that need to be done before starting wireless projection is that your devices should be on the same network. And once they are, just from your mobile phone, you have to select the device in case you have multiple devices. So you can actually rename it for the identification on which particular screen you want to project your external device display. So I'm going to select this device. And here we go. So without any cable connection, just by connecting my devices on the same network, I've just started projection of my mobile phone on the screen. And you might be wondering that this is just only one device projection. How many devices can be connected at the same time? So at the same time, you can connect up to 70 devices and on the same network. And just to give you a better idea, I'll use my laptop to project this display as well. So here we go. So this is my mobile phone screen on this half, and on the other half, I have my laptop display as well. And at the same time, I can connect multiple devices just like this. And not only the connection, I can take complete control of my external devices directly from the panel. Just stop sharing. Yes. Okay. So this is one type of projection where you are sharing your external device display to the TL7, but this basically works two-way. So there's a two-way of transferring information. Either you can project your external device display to the TL7, or you can actually see what's happening on the screen by getting access through the wireless projection feature. And the second mode is screen mirroring, which will give you the access of whatsoever is being displayed on the panel, in case you want to observe that what activities are being done on the panel. So you can use the screen mirroring feature as well. And the best part about this application is that it works without downloading any third-party application. So for example, in case of laptops, doesn't matter if they're working on the Windows operating system or the Chromebooks, you can use this URL, share.onescreensolutions.com, to start projecting your laptop screen. And this is actually the best part because it does not require anyone to download third-party application from the Play Store or the OneScreen Store. And same goes for the mobile phone. If your phone has a built-in feature of screencast, you just have to make sure that they are connected on the same network and you're good to go. Okay. So we've seen the wireless projection, the whiteboard capabilities, and now we'll talk about the device management. And this section is specifically for the admins and the IT staff. These are basically the guys who have to make sure that the screens are running super smooth and their screens are updated and secure all the time. Now, what is central? This is a device management solution which allows the controlling guys, the IT staff of any organization, to take control of the screen remotely and apply as many restriction policies as want. Could be for the web, could be for the built-in application. So they can actually, these are the people who can actually decide that how they want the guest user to use the screen. So I can actually disable all the application except for the whiteboard. So the user will only be able to work on the whiteboard screen, and rest of the applications and even the web access is going to be blocked. Now, what's the best part about this software particular is that it does not require their physical presence. As soon they create OneScreen Central admin account and they have integrated their device MAC address with their admin account, any part of the world guest user can actually request them to push some presentation resources, educational resources, documents, videos, could be anything. And if they're looking for some application and admin has maybe put some restriction, they cannot install it by them, by themselves from the screen directly. So they can request them to push those APK files or other softwares directly from their admin account. So hundreds, thousands of screens can be connected with just single account, and the IT staff will have the complete access to TL7, no matter wherever they are present. And that's how easy, we have actually reduced the stress on your IT team to remotely control all of their screens, regardless of wherever they are working from. Okay, let's go back. So now, so far we have talked about the Android operating system, but the screen has a built-in Windows computer system as well, which is continuously running in the background with a user-friendly Windows operating system. Now, the best part about this thing is that it basically eliminates the need. You don't have to connect your laptops every time. If you want to work on the Windows, you can start working on your PC, which comes built in with the screen. It has a lot of the same whiteboard softwares on the Windows part as well. But yes, for the large size software or the complex software, you can always utilize the Windows operating system to start your work. And now, in order to switch back and forth between the Android side and the Windows side, I just have to open this toolbar, tap on the home button, and here I have my Android. Now, suppose if I don't want to leave the Android Android screen, but still I want to work on the Windows side as well. So I am going to use this option. Okay, so this is my PC. And as soon as I give touch access, I can actually control my Windows operating system from here as well. So closing the application just like this. Of course, size can be adjusted and position as well. So now I have the access to my Windows operating system on this half, and on the other half, I have my Android operating system. So it allows me to work on both operating systems simultaneously. Okay, that is all the basic overview of the TL7, and we'll just shift towards the Q&A session. So I hope this product can be a best fit for your setting. And of course, in the Q&A session, we are, the questions are most welcome. So if you have any scenario to be discussed with us, please go ahead, and Brian, over to you for the questions.
Thank you, Usman. Usman, we have some interesting questions from the participants over here. The first question is that in terms of scalability, how does OneScreen TL7 handle larger teams or organizations with a higher volume of collaboration and communication needs?
Okay, so let me just tell you one thing, because a lot of time the organization are using their own collaboration platform. So let me just keep it straight. If they're already using some sort of collaboration platforms, all of those platforms are completely compatible with the screen. But in case if they want to specifically use the OneScreen side, so we have OneScreen Hype, which will allow them to connect up to hundreds of participants within the same session, and all of those participants can have a collaborate session within the same meeting. So of course, once they start using and start exploring the Hype feature, they'll get to know that how powerful the Hype, our video conferencing software, is. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you, Usman. Our next question is that you mentioned the integration of video conferencing with OneScreen TL7. Can you explain if there are any limitations on the number of participants or any specific requirements for the video conferencing sessions?
See, again, if I don't know which platform they're specifically talking about, but for our software, that there's actually no limitation. Like for an immediate meeting session, which is not a webinar or a webcast session. So in that particular scenario, you can add as many participants as you want in case of OneScreen Hype, right? But if they are in an immediate meeting session or an instant meeting session, then the participation is going to be limited, and they can go up to 50 or 50 or 100. So the participants are going to be limited in that particular scenario. But if it's a webinar, so participants can be as many as they want.
Okay, Usman, the question number 3 is that how does OneScreen TL7 handle document collaboration? And can multiple users work simultaneously on the same document? And are there any version control features available?
Yes, to answer this question, I'll talk in 2 different scenarios. One scenario is that suppose if you have opened some document from your mobile phone, right? And the same screen is being shared with the participants on their external devices like laptops or tablets. So the participants who are physically available in front of you, they can actually annotate on that document at the same time. Right, this is one way. Now the question comes for the for the second scenario. What about the participants who are attending the meeting remotely? They are not present, in front of you. They don't have access to the document on their external device. So for that, they have to use the video conferencing software, and from that software, the user will give them access to that particular document and actually select that which user you want to have, you want them to share their thoughts or annotations on the shared document. So if the meeting or the session is remote, so you have to use the video conferencing solution to make sure that all the participants who are joining us from any part of the world will be able to interact. And there's no limitation. As many as participants are available in the meeting session, they can, and it depends on the host. So like to how many participants he wants to give access. But yeah, these are the two different scenarios. One way is to do it through through the one screen share, which is the wireless projection. Once the screen is being shared with the participants' external devices, they can start working on it simultaneously. And if it's a remote session, so you can definitely use the video conferencing section to make sure that all the participants are involved.
Thank you for the thorough answer, Usman. The next question is that in terms of user management and access control, how does OneScreen TL7 handle the permissions and the roles within an organization? And can different users have different levels of access to the features and functionalities? I think they are talking about OneScreen Central, Usman.
Yes, they definitely are talking about OneScreen Central. So yes, this again is completely in control of the admin. So for being an admin, for example, if I'm an admin, I can actually assign different roles to different people within the same organization. For example, if I have to talk about some specific features, so being an admin, of course, I'll have access to all the features that are available for device management. But I can create a separate role and set some permissions for that particular user. For example, for my one of my office colleagues, I just only want him to remotely control the screen, and rest of all the features like pushing updates, making sure that the screen is up to date, and all other features I want to restrict that particular user. So yes, I can definitely do that. And there's no limitation. Being an admin, I can create as many different roles as I want. But that is going to be done using OneScreen Central.
So Usman, the next question is that, can you explain the process of troubleshooting or technical support available to users if they encounter any issues while using OneScreen TL7, and how responsive is the support team in addressing user concerns?
Of course. So this is the Guru section. Okay, so this is the platform through which participants can get quick assistance from the support team. Now they have to decide which way of communication they want to have. For example, for an instant chat session, I just have to tap on this button, and I'm gonna go and write something here. There might be chances if someone is already in a troubleshooting session or a meeting, but yes, as soon as they see the message, they are going to definitely respond, and we can proceed with the next question, and we'll see that how quick we can get response from the support team.
Great, thank you. So my next question is how to create a user account, and what is the purpose of creating different user accounts?
Okay, before going to that question, we have just received a reply from our support team, and now I can go ahead and start explaining my query, and they'll be assisting me on this, for my troubleshooting or for my problem. Okay, can you please repeat your last question again?
Sure. How to create a user account, and what is the purpose of creating different user accounts?
See, the purpose is to make sure that no one else will have access to your data or the stuff that you have worked on the same screen, right? So being a user, I have to make sure that I don't want to save everything manually within the screen. There should be some way that I just have to sign into my account. Whatsoever whatsoever work I'm doing on the TL7, I have to make sure that once I'm leaving, or once I'm leaving the meeting room, the screen is in its default condition, and no one else will have access to my data. So in order to cater these problems, we have introduced the sign-in option, which will allow multiple users to create their own account, so that only those specific users will have access to their data. And hence, this is how the TL7 is making sure that the customization and the personalized experience to multiple users.
Great. Usman, the next question is, what are the ranges of screen sizes and what is the largest screen size available for TL7?
Okay, so the range basically starts from 55 and the largest size available for TL7 specifically is 98 inches.
Thank you. And how many users can participate physically? Four you mentioned in the webinar, and remotely, is there a limitation to the remote users as well, or is it the same four?
No, for the remote students, the limitation is going to be same if they're using, if they're having an immediate meeting session. So definitely there's going to be limitation, not because it's a limitation of the TL7, but of course, whatsoever collaboration platform they are using. But for webinar and session like this, there's no limitation. The second thing, you ask about is that for the wireless screen sharing, I mentioned in the beginning that up to 70 people can connect, with the same network, and out of those 70, 90 people, 9 people can actually, simultaneously share their external devices. And of course, being being an admin or the presenter, I can actually select that. Okay, now I'm done with this particular screen. So I can disconnect that one and ask, request, the new participant from the list of the device to have their device shared on the TL7.
Okay, so another question is that regarding the use of the third-party applications, there are devices that restricts the user to use certain applications. So is it the same with OneScreen, or can we use any third-party application that we would like to use?
Okay, I'm just trying to get your question. Okay, see, in order to install any third-party application, we have Store available. But if there is some sort of restriction being made on this particular application, so being a user, I won't be able to download any application from, from the Play Store, from the OneScreen Store. But if there's no restriction, they can definitely install any third-party application. If there's a restriction, from the OneScreen Central side, they'll have to request the admin or the IT staff to give them either the access or whichever application they are looking for. They can just request them to push that application into the screen, and in a few minutes they'll see that their application has been installed in the downloads folder, and they can start working on it.
Great. So I think the user was interested to know whether there are any restrictions by the OneScreen platform itself, or we're not talking about the central over here. The OneScreen platform itself, the operating system, does restrict some of the applications, the third-party applications, or they can use any of the third-party application? Mm-hmm.
Not at all, not at all. They'll get access to all the applications that are available on the Play Store. And for the Windows side, I think it's obvious that there's no restriction at all. They can use pretty much any sort of software application.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so about the cloud storage, what's the capacity and is it licensed or free? And can it be integrated with other cloud storages as well? And they are interested with the antivirus security operations as well. When the USB is used or the files downloaded from the open sources, how does the antivirus system in OneScreen operates?
Okay, see, so the built-in firmware make sure that whichever external device you are connecting is automatically going to scan that. Of course, it's not going to show you that it's being scanned, but yes, the built-in firmware makes sure that the device is clean and free of any sort of viruses. But if they want any external antivirus application to be installed, that can be done. For the users, there is no limitation. As many users can create their account, and for the cloud storage, I'm not sure what limit size they were asking about, but yes, for the data, this it's basically the limitation of your drive storage. So by default, if they're giving to 25 gigabytes or 30 gigabytes, so that is going to be your limitation. And for the screen, the internal storage is 64 gigabytes. So yes, after 64 gigabytes, you can actually enable the settings, which will remove the unwanted files to free up some space for you. So cloud storage limitation, it truly depends on the cloud storage platform limitation, which is by default, I guess, to 25 to 30 gigabytes. And currently only Google Drive and OneDrive, these are the cloud storage platforms that can be integrated. But yes, we are working on it to, make sure that the other cloud storage platforms are compatible with TL7.
Because one of the users said that I was considering the solution for my video conferencing setup. Can you please share how this unique screen can be used as all-in-one solution for my video conferencing needs? And do you have any camera options?
Yes, we do have multiple cameras options. For instance, we have this 4K camera, which I've just mounted on top of the screen. And other than that, we have snapping cameras and the pan tilt zoom cameras available as well, which will allow you to basically, I would say, if I have to give a practical example, so in smart classroom or hybrid scenarios, when multiple cameras need to be connected. So in that scenario, we suggest pan tilt zoom camera because the presenter or the teacher will be able to show the different sides or different angles of the classrooms. And once the cameras are connected, they can use the video conference platform. For example, in case of education side, they can use the Learning Hub. This again is a built-in software, which comes with the TL7. And of course, once you start a meeting or a classroom sessions, it will automatically pick up the camera feed. If they are using some other collaboration platform, video conferencing platform like Zoom or Teams, so the same case is going to be happen in that particular scenario.
So we have a follow-up question to the questions that I asked earlier, that how to create a user account and what is the purpose of creating user account. The user is again interested to know that can be integrated with an Active Directory instead of creating the accounts manually.
No, see, the account creation is, I would say it's a prerequisite. Whenever you want to integrate your cloud storage, you first have to make sure that the user has signed up to the cloud storage platform. For example, if I just sign out of my account, like what's the purpose of having multiple accounts? Again, it's just to make sure that users will get the experience they want. Because for example, just a basic example, if I do not want these applications to be here on the home screen, maybe other participants have to work on these applications. So there's no customization or personalization in this case. So that is the main purpose, that users can actually customize the screen with its applications and at the same time secure the data on which they are working on just by creating a simple account on OneScreen. So this is a way. Now, if I, for example, if I haven't created an account earlier, so I would have to create first by tapping on this computer button. And this is the process. If they have already some Google account, they can actually integrate that. Otherwise, I will just have to manually put in my details from this section. Yeah, so here we go. These are the basic details that need to be filled out and they're good to go. But yes, account creation is compulsory in the future. They just have to scan the QR code and the rest of the process is going to be same. And I hope I have explained the purpose as well.
Okay, Usman, there is another question that can files on OPS be accessible from Android platform and vice versa?
No. See, Android, I would say that these two are different operating systems. So OPS, which is the built-in computer system, is just a small box that fits on backside of the screen, but it comes with a different operating system Windows. So files on the OPS side won't be accessible from the Android, but file on the and the vice versa, file on the Android side won't be accessible from the Windows side. Yes, you can actually use, just like I mentioned in the beginning, both operating system at the same time. Like, for example, so this is my Windows side. Directly from here, I can open any application if I want to. But if there is no if I'm not using this particular feature, like the picture and picture feature, then there's no way to get access to your files which are saved on the Windows side.
Thank you. And in a hybrid classroom environment, we will be able to connect to webcams at the same time. For example, one for the teacher to be seen and one for the classrooms to be shown.
Yeah, definitely. Multiple cameras can be connected, and all of those camera feeds are going to be shown, simultaneously. So of course, if one camera is focusing towards the student, the other camera, might be focusing towards the presenter, and it depends how many cameras they have connected. But yes, different views, different view of the classroom can be shared with the participants who are attending the classroom remotely.
Okay, Usman, we have one more question, that how does OneScreen TL7 ensure data security and privacy for its users?
Of course, again, I'll talk about the cloud storage platform again. You are not saving anything inside the internal storage of TL7. So even if tons of people are using the same screen, they won't get to know that who was working on this screen previously. So I think this sign-in feature is truly a magical feature because it gives users a complete secure environment specifically for their documents and files and presentations. And once they're leaving, just like, I'm about to, for example, leave the meeting room. So you can notice that the screen is in its default condition, and no one can actually guess that if someone has worked on it. Even if I open files from the File Explorer, nothing is saved in the internal storage since it was only for my drive. So I think that's one way. Other than that, if there are not multiple people who are using, so you can definitely put different type of locks on the screen. One password for once you turn on the screen. So only the I would say the main guy who is taking care of the screen will know the password. Otherwise, you have the kiosk mode as well, which will allow users to just focus on one particular feature. They won't be able to exit that screen. And then we have a touch lock feature as well. Suppose if you want, or the participants or the students to have focus on one particular video or the picture, so you can actually disable the touch. So whatever is being displayed on the screen is, going to remain there. And no one will be able to interact with the screen even if they want, because the touch lock has been enabled by the admin. So multiple ways to ensure that your data is secure. And if they're talking about some sort, other sort of data, so definitely they are welcome to ask the next question.
All right. So Usman, there is another question about the specs of TL7. What is the internal storage on the OPS side and then on the Android side as well? Can you please explain a bit about the specifications?
Yeah, so sure. For the Android side, it's 8 gigabytes of RAM with 64 gigabytes of internal storage. And for the Windows, the standard specs are the 16 gigabytes of RAM with 256 gigabytes of internal storage, and that is expandable. So if someone is looking for a customized solution, maybe for the expansion of RAM or the internal storage, so that is an option available as well.
One of the users asked that, where do you have your showrooms? I want a screen in Ghana, and can we get it there?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, since we are working on around the globe, and we have partners, distributors, resellers, in every part of the world, so they can definitely get the screen. It doesn't matter which part of the world they belong from. And our business development team will be more than happy to guide them to make sure, what is going to be a proper route for them to get their screen quickly.
Thank you, Swan. For those of you who have queries regarding the lead time and whether the screen will be delivered to their city or not, they can drop us a message or email at the mina@onescreensolutions.com, or they can visit our website and submit the query over there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. We sincerely hope you found this session valuable, and we would like to inform you that this episode is part of the TL7 webinar series. And in the upcoming sessions, we will delve into the various use cases of OneScreen and demonstrate how it can become one of your most valuable asset. To access the recordings of this webinar, please visit our YouTube channel. And additionally, we will also send you an email with the recording. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at mina@onescreensolutions.com or call us at +971 4320 9187. And you can find this contact information in your invitation email or on our website, which is www.onescreensolutions.com. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. Have a good day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.